NHL free agency, usually a July 1st thing, but moved back a couple of weeks due to the schedule shift. NHL free agency is now underway, which means the Johnny Hockey Watch is in full effect. The 28-year-old South Jersey native has played his last game in a Calgary Flames sweater, for now at least. Johnny Gaudreau expected to land somewhere, perhaps in the northeastern United States. And we welcome in former Washington Capitals forward Alan May. Alan, I guess it's really a two-part question about Johnny Gaudreau. Where's the best fit for Johnny Hockey, and where do you think he's going to end up?
Well, I think the best fit is the New Jersey Devils, And when you think of that, you think of all the young players, Jack Hughes, and the players, Nico Hischier, the top two tandem that they have there, Jesper Bratt. So many players that can put the puck in that, skate at high speeds, and just do incredible things. And they're a team that's just building bit by bit. And I think that would be the best look when you think of winning and keeping your stats. On the other side of a lot of people had him linked to the New York Islanders, but it feels like the Islanders, knowing Lou Lamoriello, they throw the biggest, greatest contract at him. But the best fit, and he is a Jersey kid. I don't know if he's closer to Philly or if he's closer to the Rock, but it definitely looks like New Jersey is the best fit for him. But I just received a text from a friend of mine who's pretty detailed insider, and he said all of a sudden the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, but the Blue Jackets have a lot of cash available, and they could do some crazy things today.
All right, so we've heard about the Devils, and we've heard about the Islanders perhaps, and now the Blue Jackets as well. Here's a look at some free agent moves of note on this Wednesday. Vincent Trocheck going from Carolina to the Rangers, Andre Burakovsky from Colorado to Seattle, Jack Campbell from the Maple Leafs to the Oilers. Arturi Lehkonen re-signs with Colorado. Evgeni Malkin maybe a little bit surprisingly re-signs with Pittsburgh. And Claude Giroux from Florida, he is now with the Ottawa Senators. Here with former Washington Capitals, tough guy, but he's actually really a big softie. Alan May, there's a saying, Alan, in football that if you have two quarterbacks, it really means you don't have a quarterback at all. And the Washington Capitals kind of felt that way, trading Vitek Vanacek, letting Ilya Samsonov go, even without a qualifying offer. Then they went out and got two goalies, most notably the most recent Stanley Cup winner, Darcy Kuemper. What do you think about Kuemper to the Caps?
Well, I think it's one of those things. It addresses the most glaring need with the Washington Capitals. That's goaltending. And anytime you don't have confidence in your goaltenders, and it's always something that you're always talking about. So their general manager, their coaching staff, their players were always talking about their two young goaltenders. Neither of them took the reins this year. When they were given the net, they would falter, they'd fail. And so they went out and got a proven winner, a guy that really was the Arizona Coyotes, and kept them in contention and, kept them from getting embarrassed while he was there. And then he goes for a first-round draft pick to the Colorado Avalanche. And, his career numbers are very nice. He was hurt a couple times in the playoffs. People were picking him apart, but he is a veteran presence. He's now got himself a Stanley Cup, and he's got almost in the top 40 or 50 starts in the National Hockey League since he's been in it. I look at him. That's a huge upgrade for the Capitals. And so now it's on the rest of the players and the coaching staff that they can't blame the goaltenders. So it's a big signing for Washington and one of probably the poorest kept secrets so far in free agency.
There seems to be a similar feeling overall with the Caps and their chief rivals over the last decade or so in the Penguins, in that they're going to stick with the guys that got them to the top, whether it's waiting on Nicholas Backstrom in D.C. or in the case of the Pens, it's signing Evgeni Malkin to a new 4-year deal worth $6.1 million on the cap each year. What do you make of Gino re-signing with the Penguins?
I just can't imagine him playing anywhere else. And you think of it, he and Crosby have been an incredible tandem, and they've won some Stanley Cups together, 3 to be exact. And both of these guys have been injured at times, and the other guy has stepped up in a large way. So when you think of that and how great their power play is, no matter who is coaching, no matter who is on it with the rest of them, those two guys find a way to get it done. As long as Evgeni Malkin can stay healthy, it's going to be a good-looking contract. But, if he does go long-term IR, that's what long-term IR is there. His money will be off the books. I didn't expect him to get the 6 years that Chris Letang got. He's somewhat older. I think he's 3 years older than Chris. He's had a couple of ACL injuries and surgeries. So, they've got to worry about that. How many games is he going to be able to play for the Pittsburgh Penguins over that 4-year period? But at the same time, that's part and parcel with playing in the National Hockey League. Players get hurt. You've got to pay them to not play sometimes. But they're a better team with him than they are without him. I saw some other names that were linked to the Penguins, and I think Evgeni Malkin is still better than the guys that a lot of people are throwing their names around.
Let's talk about another team in the East, the Carolina Hurricanes. They've been busy. They've been also busy maybe getting a little bit older, picking up Brent Burns and then Max Pacioretty with trades with San Jose and Las Vegas, respectively. They've gotten older. They've gotten veteran presence in there. Have they gotten better, too?
I don't know. I really love the way Tony DeAngelo played for them, the way he can walk the line in the power play. Kind of a little bit of a controversial figure, but he's a guy that shows up every game. Brent Burns is a guy that's been playing some loosey-goosey hockey over the years, and I'm a big fan of what he brings to the game, the personality. He's a big physical specimen. He can create offense still, and he's an alpha. And so anytime you can bring in an alpha, that's great. And Brent Burns does everything possible to make sure that he's able to play the game. He's been virtually injury-free throughout his career. So that, to me, is a huge pickup, very surprising. I thought the Dallas Stars would be the team. After all, he does live in Texas most of the year. And then on the other side of it, Max Pacioretty, one of the things and one of the critiques of the Carolina Hurricanes this year was that they didn't have an alpha, like a big-time goal scorer. Well, Max Pacioretty, if he can stay healthy, can score some goals. And, you know, they've got some very nice puck movers there. They've got an incredible coaching staff. They do a great job on the power play. And I think Max, he'll do a great job of fitting in because he's not the kind of guy that's your go-to top guy that when you think about it, you know, every fan in the building's going to be wearing a Max Pacioretty jersey. He's a great accessory. He's a goal scoring. He helps on the power play. There's leadership. He's a little bit older. So is Brent Burns. But these are two guys that can help them maybe get to the league finals and maybe, if they're lucky enough, stay healthy, win a Stanley Cup.
Well, I can tell you that Max Pacioretty is a big deal in New Canaan, Connecticut, but that's where he's from. The busiest team in free agency when it began was Detroit, really by a mile. The Red Wings signing 5 new players, including Ann Arbor native Andrew Kopp, perhaps the headliner of that group. He signed a 5-year deal. How much better has Steve Yzerman's squad become?
They're going to make the playoffs, in my opinion. When you look at the players that they grabbed, I've got to look at my notes for this one. Andrew Kopp, David Perron, a Stanley Cup winner. They got him at a nice salary. He scores big goals, can play in any situation. Ben Sherratt, really good defenseman. And Moritz Seider is probably going to win the Norris Trophy in the next year or two. And this would be a great guy to have paired with him. It would be just an absolutely physical stud type of defensive duo. And Moritz Seider still bringing, you know, carrying the mail, doing everything that he does. And you look at that, and then a guy that's low on the radar that a lot of people don't realize what a pickup this is. Dominik Kubalik scored 30 goals his rookie year in the National Hockey League. And Chicago's doing a sell-off. They elected not to re-sign him because I believe he has arbitration rights. But now they've picked up goals. So you take Jacob Vrana getting back and getting healthy, and another guy that can put the puck in that. Dominik Kubalik is about 6'2", 6'3", can skate very well. And the games that I've witnessed him and watched him play, he's been excellent. So this is a huge pickup. And then another defenseman to add to their depth. When you think of Detroit, they've just upgraded their defense because now they've got Ali Mata as well. And I know there's another signing that's happened in the last half hour, but for the life of me, I can't remember who it is. But I think the Detroit Red Wings did an excellent job today of making themselves a much better team. And I'm hearing they're not done yet.
Well, the biggest name at the trading deadline, this was during the season, to go from one to another, was Claude Giroux. Going from Philly to Florida. They were a solid cup contender at the time. And now the 34-year-old's on his way to Ottawa, where he played some minor hockey there, lived there as a teenager. How do you like Giroux to the Sens, and how do you like the Senators for Giroux?
Well, I think it's excellent. They're an up-and-coming team. They're right on the cusp as well. Very difficult to play against. And all of their young draft picks all of a sudden are starting to be very productive. They got Tkachuk to an 8-year contract, and they're happy to have him back in the fold. He's going to be a great leader for them. Shabbat on defense. But I think when you look at Claude Giroux, he is so good in the face-off circle. He can play left wing, center, right wing. He can really play with anyone on the team. He can penalty kill. He's great on the power play in any position that you can have him on the power play. So I think it's a great pickup by them. And one of the things a lot of people don't realize is his off-season home is in Ottawa. His strength coach is there. He's already working hard, getting his reps in. And he's a guy, he fits in very well. And I think he's better when he's not the number one guy. And when you can be an accessory, this is a very nice accessory for the Ottawa Senators.
Well, it's a pretty solid start to free agency in the NHL. And Alan, I get the sense this is only the beginning. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, take care. Thank you.
And the odds makers have the defending champs as the odds-on favorites to repeat, while the Maple Leafs are next in line, followed by the Lightning, Panthers, and Golden Knights.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.